How good is the Intel Arc B580 in the game of Fortnite? It is a game that is not tested near as much as it should be with these different graphics cards that come out, and a lot of people want to know, so that's what we're going to do today. So let's check out the rest of our PC specs. Now, the CPU we're using is the 7800X3D, which is going to be really good for us. Fortnite does depend a lot on the CPU, although the graphics card is not completely useless. If you don't believe me, go try to play Fortnite without one. 32 gigs of RAM, 6,000 mega transfers per second, and the Intel Arc B580 with its 12 gigabytes of VRAM. We're going to start with some 1440p DirectX 12 settings, and we're going to see how this goes. We're not going to use any like super resolution or anything like that. Now, I will say shadows, global illumination, nanite, geometry, all of that stuff really kills your FPS, so it'd probably be better to leave that off. I'm also really terrible at build mode, so we'll see how this goes. Oh, and the 3D resolution needs to be set on 100 so you get the full 1440p experience. All right, so we're going to hop into our first game here in Fortnite, and we're going to see how good our FPS actually is with this Intel Arc B580. Now, there's a lot of knocks on some of the graphics cards these days in Fortnite, and I'll be honest, I believe some of them. Like, I've tested a bunch of AMD cards, which I haven't got a bunch of AMD cards in Fortnite up on the channel. I'm working on doing that. Hopefully soon I'll have some more AMD cards, but until then, we just kind of got to go with the flow here, and the Intel cards are coming out. This is the B580. I hope to have the B570 up as well very, very soon, and hopefully you guys can see it. And with these Intel cards, we also tested a bunch of other games, so you could feel free to check those out after this video. All right, so we finally got landed here. I tried to land in a secluded area, but it does not appear that I am completely secluded, but we shall see what happens. And right now we're getting around like 130 FPS. Now, granted, this is DX12 and we are at 1440p, and we're running pretty much everything on Epic except for those settings we talked about at the beginning. So we'll just kind of have to see how that goes. I would very much like a shotgun so that I have a fighting chance. Oh, my FPS went up to like 100. Oh, it's going back down. I'm still learning keyboard and mouse, so don't judge too hard. But if you do judge, please let me know in the comments. Glad that dude was a bot and did not know what he was doing. So, I mean, it's definitely smooth. It's not really what, people want. We're going to go view distance on far. We're going to turn all these down to low. How that affects our FPS. Let's see if we can get closer to that 200 mark. And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, this is a little surprising to me, to be honest, because I mean, we've got one of the best gaming CPUs that there is right now. Am I close to this portal? Like, what the heck's going on? Oh, it's another bot. And my 1% lows are not very good either. Like, they keep kind of stuttering a little bit. Maybe that's just an Intel Arc thing. Inside this building, though, we're getting like 240, 250 FPS. And guys, yes, I know I am in bot lobbies. Not cool, man. It says our FPS average is like 211, but part of that was because we were in that house and it shot up to like 240. So let's see when we get away from the POI that we landed out and more in the middle of the map, which again, super disappointed. I really thought it would be better than that. Take into account, this is 1440p. Even though it's made for 1440p, according to Intel, still not being that fantastic at the moment. Now what we're going to do is we're going to switch back to those high settings where we like put all of this on like Epic and 1080p. Now that we've done that, let's see what our settings are like. Not too bad. That's giving us close to, that's giving a pretty solid over 200 FPS experience like that. Oh, and I got a better shotgun. Let's go. Godzilla repelled, whatever that means. In the car, we dropped our FPS a little bit, but that's okay. I mean, 200-ish FPS, 180. Again, super disappointed. I know I've already said that like 5 times. View distance far, low, and let's see what that's like. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That got us closer to that 240-ish mark, which I can live with that. Oh man, but then when I hop in the car, it is not so good. I don't have any movement either. Ah, that dude got eliminated. I think as long as we're not in a car or doing anything else kind of crazy. It's not terrible. Let's get out of here. There's too many people. I told y'all I am terrible at build mode. No! I tried, though. Now we gotta try performance mode, though, at 1440p and 1080p and see if it's any better. Right now, our 1% lows are extremely terrible. They keep dropping down to like 20 or so. But I'll be honest with you, every game of Fortnite I've ever played's not had the best 1% lows. It's all gonna depend on how stuttery or how buttery smooth that it actually is. So that's what we're gonna be looking at and trying to test here and see how it goes. Right now, we're getting a ton of FPS right now. I will say we have one of the best gaming CPUs that they make, which is going to make a massive, that's right, I said it, massive difference in how we actually, how much FPS we actually get. But I will be interested to see. So far, the 1% lows are now holding much, much steadier. I said that and it dropped to 89, but that's not terrible. It's holding more around that 157-ish mark, which is nice. Over 400 FPS. This is at 1440p too, mind you. 400 FPS. Right there, we just had another drop down to 44, 38. So that is a little rough. We'll see if that comes back up. When it comes to the 1% lows, yeah, it's hopping back up to 65. That was just a weird. And then us getting in the car drops 1% lows, but I mean, that's pretty normal when it comes to Fortnite, but we'll see as we fly around the map. Anytime you're in a car and you're doing anything like this, it does affect the FPS. We're going to go into the Kappa Kappa Pickles, see what the deal is. No pun intended. I forgot that you could run up walls. Holy crap. Please be a bot, because I do not have good guns. Woo! It was a bot. And my FPS dropped to like 17. I wonder if it's one of those things where like if you play multiple games, it'll get better kind of deal. Oh, see, once again, the drop to like 18. Our 1% lows are just pretty trash. Okay, let's just try, before we go fight these guys, let's try 1080p and see if we get like 500 FPS. That would be insane, right? You got 500 FPS in Fortnite? Ooh, we got close to 500. We hit 522. If I look at the sky, what does it do? Not much. Not really any different. Hey, you want these hands, man? I'll give you these hands. Come here. Yeah. 1% lows climbed up a little bit though once we went to 1080p. We're getting close to 500 FPS. So if you pair this thing with a good CPU, it looks like you're gonna be okay. Now there is some debate right now in the PC community about this graphics card. If you pair it with a older CPU, supposedly it is not as good. So if that's something you might like to see, I am gonna pair it with another CPU that's cheaper than this, much cheaper than this. Okay, I thought this was a bot. Yeah, I won. Oh my God, I'm so bad. All right, so I definitely think overall, as you can see, our 1% lows are much more stable now. We're hitting around the 117 mark with our 1% lows. So probably it was a texture thing getting them all loaded in. And so we had to just play the game a little while longer. It might have helped that on DX12 as well. And of course, they say, if you cap your FPS, the 1% lows will also be better. That's just something, that you might want to do. They are making, 400 and 500 hertz monitors these days, 360 hertz monitors. That is something that could have to decide if that's what you want to do. It's got to be a bot, right? I hope. I think I'm getting better, guys. I mean, I know these are bots, but I can do something. Like I can do that little ramp thing. That's about the only thing I can do. If you're not good, the PC's not going to help you, but it'll help me show you FPS numbers and help us out, because we would love to get this second channel monetized so that we can bring you more videos like this in the future. If you want to see other games besides Fortnite, let me know that down in the comments. There's only 17 people left. Could we win the game? That would be the question that I would like to answer. and we're still holding around 100 on the 1% lows, which I'm really impressed with. So like right now, this graphics card is definitely a recommend on the Fortnite side of things as of right now. Like there's no, like obviously we got to try it with some different CPUs. So like if there's a CPU you want me to try it with specifically, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to try it out for you, because I'm not selling this graphics card. I want to keep it for a while because I want to do a lot more tests with it. So I want to plan out some cool builds. First one is going to be an all white build, which I think will be pretty cool. Super pumped about it. Let's just see how that goes. Only 8 people left. We're going to see if we can win before we sign off of here. If I win, you got to subscribe, you know? All right, I can see those guys fighting, and they're not doing any kind of crazy cranking 90s or nothing. So maybe, just maybe, I have a chance. What the freak? That's so stupid. Just run around with that sword like that. Whatever. Go watch some more videos. Make me feel better.